Today we have some classic Reaper Miniatures skeletons, and I'm going to be showing you an easy way to paint them up for your gaming table. Once you've removed your miniatures from the packet, the next thing you need to do is remove all the mould lines and the flashing, as it's called. And to do that, all you need is some clippers, and you just take away all the little bits that came away with the mould. Being careful not to take away any detail of the miniature, of course. Once you've removed the large flashing, you can use a file like this one. This is from Games Workshop. And normally you have lines along the mould process around the head and shields, and you can just file away any lines that you find. These ones actually aren't too bad. There's another little wormy mould there. Let's get rid of that one. Now my skeletons have all been cleaned up. As you know, I like to put all my miniatures on bases. So I am going to use my super glue. I have 3 MDF 25mm bases, which I will stick the minis to. Don't need much glue. Less is more, as they say with super glue. And it seems to be the case. Oops. So all we're doing, sticking the minis on. We'll let the minis set, and then I will base the bases with gravel effect, and then I will do the primer. And I'll show you which primer I use, and we'll go to the next stage. There. Reaper minis always look better on bases. So now we come to the next stage, and that is basing our minis with sand or gravel. So we have our little mini. We have our pot of PVA glue and our cheap nasty paintbrush. So we're just gonna get all the glue around the base. Nice and thickly on. And we do the same with all the 3 minis, so I'll just show you the one. I get the sand from my local beaches. It won't be long until the beaches are empty. The local council will probably be, why are you taking our sand? I'm sure they won't miss a little bit from the beach. So take all the PVA all the way to the edges, and then just cover it in sand. And take away the excess with your thumb. around the sides. Like so. Take this away, you can't see here. That's better. And as you can see, the base is nicely done. Now the base is dry, we can put on the primer. I'm using the MSP primer from Reaper Miniatures. It's a fantastic primer for your metal miniatures. So, let me just cover the whole miniature with the primer. I'm using an Army Painter priming brush. You can buy these from Mighty Lancer Games UK, and all you do with the primer is paint the miniature. Just go over the whole area. Just cover all the metal. You only need to do one coat. Some people do two. Now the reason why you put a primer on your metal miniatures is to help your paint have something to adhere to. It'll help bring out the colours. It stops the chipping. Doesn't stop the chipping totally, but it really does help to have a primer, as it's something to work from. If you painted straight directly on the metal, you'll find that the metal actually can come through the paint that you've done. Plus, if you're using the miniatures like I do for gaming all the time, it won't take very long before you'll see little speckles of metal coming through the paint from use. So it's very important to start the mini correctly by giving a good base coat. There you are. It's very simple. Just make sure you don't put too much on, because otherwise you'll hide all the details of the miniature. But this primer from Reaper Miniatures is fantastic, really good. Totally recommend it. There we are. I'll do the same with the other two minis, and then we'll go to the next stage. Now I've done the base, we're going to put the main base coat for all the skeletons. I'm using Graveyard Bone by MSP, Reaper Miniatures, and we will cover the whole skeleton in this colour, ready for the next stage. Remember, when you use these MSP paints or any paint, always turn the bottle upside down when you give it a good shake. It'll help mix all the colours. All the pigments will come from the bottom. It's always a good tip to use. So just a piece of So I'm just going to cover the main skeleton's body with this colour. Once this colour has been put on, I will then use an ink wash, Agrax Surf Shade, to cover the whole miniature. I always do all the main parts of the miniature first for the skeletons, so you can get your dry brushing done, you can get all the ink washes done, and then I can add things like for the shields, the silver, browns for the wood. I will finish this and the other two, and then I will come back and show you what I do next. But as you can see, that's all you need to do now, is get the main body of your skeleton all base coated up, ready. Skeletons are such an easy miniature to paint, and it doesn't take long before you have a whole army of them looking very well painted for the time that it's taken you to paint them. And it's fantastic when you see them all on the battlefield. There we go. Now the graveyard bone is all dry, we can add the Agrax Surf Shade, and this really is a magical effect, because you just push it onto your skeleton and it instantly becomes awesome. Now, the important thing with the skeleton is making sure all the dirty wash, as I call it, goes into all the recesses. Go away. And you need to make sure that you get the recesses of the eyes filled, because you want them dark. See? There you go. So you get the ink in there, and that'll dry, and you won't need to do anything else with those eyes. And it's simple as that. Now the ink is dry, we can go to the last stage, and that is just a little bit of dry brushing of a lighter colour. And all you need to do with the dry brushing is just go over the top of the skull, around the eye sockets, and just all the raised areas like the elbow there, and the knee, and the pelvic area. I'm using Stone Effect dry brush paint by Games Workshop. It seems to be one of my go-to paints for dry brushing. You'll find that with your painting is you'll find paints that just seem to work with everything you do. And there we are. All I need to do now is paint the bow, finish the base. For painting skeletons, as you can see, it works very well. Very simple, quick and easy.